Yes! What is up, everyone? And first things first, I feel like I'm in kindergarten because I got f***ing pink eye, which is why I was gonna wear these cool guy shades. And then you would have been like, oh, why is he wearing those cool guy shades? Well, I just told you. Anyway, I don't know how I got it, but it's gross. However, I did take my girls to the movie theater to see Frozen 2, and I bet that's where I picked it up. It's germs all over the place. Also, did you see that movie? Olaf rules, by the way. He's such a great character. Anyway, we're here to talk about Carlo Ancelotti and the fact that he got fired after leading Napoli to a comprehensive 4-0 beatdown on Hank, I don't know how to say it, to qualify for the knockout rounds of the Champions League, which is a very big deal. So it makes me wonder if that's worse than when he got fired when he just finished a press conference for Chelsea and they nailed him when he was walking down the stairs. Like he was talking about Lampard and Terry and Drogba and then feeling probably pretty good about himself. And then he's going down the stairs like, you know what? You're out. You suck. Go back to Italy. I don't know if they said that. Either way, it's pretty harsh. Or when he got fired at Real Madrid where, according to Madrid president Florentino Perez, he did nothing wrong. Just that expectations are high at a club like Madrid. Which, what? That guy won you the Champions League, the UEFA Super Cup, the Copa del Rey, and the Club World Cup, so that makes no sense, Florentino. Or when he got fired at Bayern for apparently being too old, so he couldn't connect with the players like the man before him did, and I'm referencing Pep Guardiola here, which is why Bayern went out and got cool and super young Niko Kovac. But obviously, that didn't work either. So try again with your bullshit excuses about why you fired him, Bayern. It's because you were embarrassed that you got embarrassed by PSG in the Champions League 3-0. Do you remember that? I remember. So I think, in stepping back a moment, the crazy part about all of this is the fact that Carlo Ancelotti is only one of 3 managers in history to win 3 Champions League trophies, and yet he gets hired and fired like he's David Moyes. I mean, where is the respect? So in summation about this part, I think it's fair to say that Ancelotti could be the GOAT, the greatest of all time when it comes to unfair sackings. However, with that said, he did have a lot of talent in his team at Napoli this season who were arguably way underperforming in Serie A. Already 17 points off the top of the table, 15 games into the season. And actually, I don't think we can argue about that at all. It's facts. And whether that's due to him or due to his players collectively playing like hot flaming dog poop, he's still ultimately responsible. But Napoli think Gennaro Gattuso is the guy to help save their season? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Gattuso fan, especially him as a player, because you always need a Gattuso in your team, in my opinion, to have success. But that's not the guy I think of when I think of Scudetto winning managers, you know? So he has to be considered a short-term fix at best. But maybe I'm wrong. AC Milan seems to be worse without him this season. But back to Ancelotti, where does he go next? Arsenal? Everton? Manchester United? Okay, maybe not United because they're still coming off the high of beating Jose Mourinho and Pep Guardiola in the space of 4 days, and everything is looking on the up and up. So Everton, though, is that club big enough for him? Now, sure, the Toffees have plenty of talent that I think he could do a lot with, like Richarlison, Sigurdsson, Lucas Digne, Calvert-Lewin, Iwobi, even Moise Kean. But looking ahead, let's say he did take the job, is that a club that can attract bigger players to show up so that he can actually compete with the top 6 in a meaningful way? I'm not so sure, which means Arsenal it is. So here's a fun fact for you just to get this part of the conversation started. Over the last 20 years, Ancelotti has won more trophies than the Gunners. And if I was an Arsenal fan, that would be good enough for me. But to add to why I think he would be a good fit as well, he has shown over his managerial career to be very good with handling big names and getting them to play together, which would be great news for quite a few players on Arsenal's squad, especially Mesut Ozil. However, Ancelotti sold Mesut when he came in at Real Madrid, saying he preferred Angel Di Maria over him for the greater good of the team. And that has to hurt if Mesut ever heard that. But 2 things are going to happen, I think, if Ancelotti takes over. The first thing is Mesut is going to start playing better because Ancelotti is a big name whisperer. And 2, and this is the other option, Mesut and his big giant wage are going to be sold. So I'd like to think that that's a win-win for all of you Arsenal supporters. Also, with Ancelotti having spent time now at Napoli, and with Napoli having one of the best center backs in the world in their team, even though he's having a bit of a down year in Koulibaly, maybe, just maybe, he can convince him to come join him at Arsenal over the summer, because if Arsenal need to get better in any area of the field, it's in their back four. Also times two, I just think that Ancelotti will command instant respect with the team, whereas with Wenger, he was losing his over the years with the players, or at least that's how it felt and seemed, while Unai Emery was desperately trying to earn his throughout his time in charge, and as we saw, he ultimately failed. But Ancelotti's track record proves that he's been loved by most, which has led to unprecedented success, and I don't see why that would change if and when he gets the Arsenal job, so I hope he gets it. Anyway, those are my thoughts about the situation. What are yours? Did Napoli make the right decision? And where would Ancelotti be a good fit? Is it Arsenal? Is it somewhere else? Let me know after you hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow for some previews and predictions of some big-ass games this weekend. Later.